guys, how are you? It's Hope, the day in the life of Bronx Realtor. So, I am going to talk about inspections. First of all, Happy New Year. It's still January. It's still January. Happy New Year. So, we're going to talk about inspections, okay? Number one. Inspection is not a tool to renegotiate the offer that was just accepted. Okay, that's not what it's for. Okay, you hire an inspector to do an engineer's report on the house, and they check everything. Okay, when your offer gets accepted before you go into contract. So this is mainly not only to point out certain things that need to be changed, but to know and learn how the functions of the house are operating and working. And the major 5 functions is roof needs to be free of leaks. It doesn't mean that if the roof is 10 years old, you're going to ask for a new roof. It has to be free of leaks. Plumbing, working order, no leaks. Okay? Electrical, working order. You don't want a fire. Okay? Foundation. You don't want the house tilting like this. You don't want the beams to be like that. Okay? Termites, those pesky little insects that look like ants. Okay? They love to eat the wood, and they're very common. And most places will have it, but the question is, if your home underneath is infested, they've attacked, they can chew up the beams. I mean, it could be a big mess, okay? So, the plumbing and the electrical needs to be up to code. That's what the inspector will advise you. But no house is going to be completely up to code unless it's a new construction, okay? So you're looking for a circuit box, you know, that has enough circuit breakers, right? Okay, you're not gonna have a fire. It has enough amps or watts or whatever you call it, which the inspector will advise you, and they know what the bank will require. Okay, but it's not gonna have the same amount of circuit breakers as a new home. Okay, for instance, right now they put those sockets, the GFIs, that if water splashes, it trips, you know, like it turns off. The older homes don't have that, okay? So there's most likely, the seller is not going to install that because the code right now for new construction is that. So that's, I'm just giving an example, okay? Sometimes there's lead pipes, okay? There's mold, there's asbestos. Those are not safe, and that you will have to address the seller, because the bank is normally not going to close on something like that. And if it's an FHA loan that you're going to make sure, well, you're going to want to make sure that the home doesn't have anything that those guidelines will require, okay? Because FHA is a government insured loan. So even though there's a cracked tile and that might seem cosmetic, they're gonna want that to be fixed because you can trip, okay? Conventional loan is less strict, but in any event, when you're getting a loan, the house has to be habitable. You have to be able to live in the home safely with no hazards. Okay, so that's what you're looking for. Okay, so if all the 5 major functions are in working order and they're safe and not hazardous, then it's good to move forward. It's okay. Now, buyer agents, your buyer might still want to ask that the seller adds those GFIs. You cannot say, I'm not going to ask the seller that. What you can do is educate them and say, of course I'm going to ask, because that is my fiduciary, okay, duty to obey, that the buyer wants you to ask for this. But also educate them and let them know the seller's probably not going to change this, okay, but we're going to ask anyway, okay, because you never know. The worst could happen is that they can say no, okay? So you have to prepare your buyers, okay, that this is to make sure the 5 functions are working, okay, but you also have to obey and listen to them, but you have to educate them, so at least they be prepared, okay? And if you are a seller's agent and you're listing the home, when you look at the condition, you have to be prepared, and you pretty much know what needs to be done, okay, as far as the house. And you already know this house is not going to qualify for FHA, so they're going to ask for certain things. This house is good, everything is okay, and it's not to get all crazy and to worry about, but it's just for you to understand, okay? So realtors, buyers, and sellers, that's what inspection is for, okay? And it's about anywhere, I don't know, 400 to 500, okay? And if you do find something and it's very big and the seller can't do it, obviously you can't move forward, especially if the bank is not going to approve this loan, okay? And you do lose your money, but it's a very small amount of money to find out something after closing. So it's not mandatory to get an inspection, but there's no attorney that would advise you to purchase a home without an engineer's report. So pretty much every buyer gets an inspection. So I hope that you understand what inspections, you know, are about. And as far as the termite inspection, that is a separate form that the bank will require, and most inspectors will do both. I don't know if I mentioned that in the beginning, okay, but that's very serious, and that needs to be done if there is evidence of termites. And sometimes the evidence is like 10-15 years ago, but guess what, you still have to treat your home because the evidence is there, because the buyer cannot move forward. Okay, so I hope that this has helped sellers, buyers, and realtors. Okay.